Hello, and welcome to another episode of Mad Scientist Brewing Beer Education Series. This week, in honor of St. Patrick's Day, we're going to be taking a look at the Irish Red Ale style. And I've got with me a glass of Smithwick's, which is probably one of the more famous of the Irish Red Ales. This comes originally from Kilkenny in Ireland, although I bought this here at Shaw's. So, first of all, cheers. Oh, yeah. I only have this a few times a year, so it's good to enjoy it. All right, so first let's take a look at some of the vital statistics of the beer style. All right, so for an ABV, this is going to have a range of 3.8 to 5%, which puts it on the lower to a normal range for alcohol level. It has an original gravity of 1.036 to 1.046, or 9.0 to 11.4 degrees Plato. It has a final gravity of 1.010 to 1.014, which is 2.6 to 3.6 degrees Plato. For IBUs, it's got a range of 18 to 28, which also has a perceived bitterness of about a moderate level. Actually, maybe even a touch lower than that, since this tends to be more hop forward, or excuse me, more malt forward beer. And then it has an SRM color of 9 to 14, which gives it a medium amber to reddish copper color. All right, for sensory notes, we'll start with its appearance. Usually we'll have a medium amber to medium reddish copper color, which you can kind of make out here. It's also going to be quite clear, even for an ale, and have a low off-white to tan head, which may or may not last all that long. This has got a decent head retention on here, but wasn't all that large of a head. For aroma, it's going to have low to moderate neutral grainy or caramel, toast, or toffee aroma. It might have a light buttery character as well. You don't see that too often, but you can kind of get that from some of the British and Irish yeasts. And it will have low earthy or floral hop aroma, but often very little of that at all. Flavor-wise, it's going to be moderate to very little caramel or malty flavor and sweetness, and rarely with a bit of buttered toast or toffee character. It's often neutral and grainy in flavor and can even be lightly toasty or biscuity, and it's got a light roasty finish on it. It's kind of the touch of a character that this style has. It can have light earthy and floral hop flavor as an option, but again, that might be kind of low. This is, as I mentioned, a malt forward beer with a medium dry to dry finish that is clean and smooth. For mouthfeel, you're looking at a medium light to medium body. If you've got some diacetyl in here, you might have that slick, buttery mouthfeel with it, but again, not all varieties will have this. And it might be moderately carbonated and smooth. All right, for characteristic ingredients, it's a pretty simple grist to make this. It's got a pale base malt, and generally you'll have a bit of roasted barley or black malt, which gives you that reddish color and a dry, roasty finish to the beer. Caramel malts were generally imported to Ireland and a bit more expensive, so not all brewers use them. History-wise, the modern red ale is kind of an adaptation of your English bitter, but it's less hopped and you have a bit more of that roasted malt flavor that adds color and the dryness to it. If you were going to compare this with other styles, like I mentioned, it's going to be similar to a British bitter, but it'll be less bitter and hoppy compared to that, and with the drier finish due to the roasted barley. And it would be a touch more attenuated and less caramel flavor and body than you would find with some Scottish ales of equivalent gravity. Commercially, there's a few varieties around. Most of them do come out of Ireland. There's Franciscan Well Rebel Red out of Cork. I actually got to go there. Smithwick's Irish Ale, as I mentioned, is what I'm drinking, and kind of the standard when you think Irish red ale. For 300 or so years, it was actually brewed in Kilkenny. It is no longer, but if you should ever get to Kilkenny, there is a nice visitor center where you can still have plenty of Smithwick's beer. Also, there's Murphy's Irish Red and Kilkenny Irish Beer, to name a few. Locally here, our friends down at Black Pug just released their Irish Red Ale called O'Girby's, which I got to sample this year and was very happy with to have again. So if you should be around Brunswick and want to try one on a less snowy day than today, or if you're around for St. Patrick's Day tomorrow, that would be a great time to try that, or any of these fine examples of red ale. So that's it for the covering of this style. I will enjoy drinking this, and I hope everyone has a safe and um, happy St. Patrick's Day. Please be responsible with your consumption of beer as always, but especially today. And that's it. I'm gonna have this and then probably have a Guinness too. So until next time, cheers.